Good afternoon, all, and welcome to the Johannesburg branch of the SIMM, Southern African Institute of Mining Metallurgy, and specifically our May 2021 technical presentation session. As you can see, this is going to be a virtual format. We're carrying on with virtual, but we'll keep you updated as and when things change. And we certainly look forward to getting back to what was a couple of years ago at Wally Parsons, hopefully. So please bear with us, and hopefully that won't be too long in the making. Today's presentation is going to be very kindly by Multotec, and the subject matter is going to be test work capabilities, interesting results and developments. Now, I think all of us know Multotec through one way or the other. I'm sure there's no one there that hasn't had dealings with them, and it's a company that's been around for a long time. Big into R&D, in addition to a wide variety of products and services that they've got. And I'm sure there's been many changes over the last couple of years, so we're looking for that update. The presenters today, we've got two people working in tandem. I'd like to introduce first Chantal Rust. Chantal holds the title of Research and Development Engineer at Multotec, Process Equipment Technology Division. She has been in the mining industry for 12 years, and although she has a master's degree in chemical engineering, you can see this is a person that not afraid to roll up the sleeves and do all the work from the coalface upwards. Very, very passionate about mineral processing and making a difference to the industry. She'll be joined by JP Peters, and if I can introduce JP to you, He obtained a Bachelor of Engineering degree in Chemical Engineering in 2015, followed by a postgraduate diploma in management and a certificate in advanced project management. He has 5 years experience in the mining industry as a process engineer. With an industry leader, here I take it you mean Multotec, and I fully agree with you, in metallurgy and process engineering. A short introduction of the two speakers presenters to us this afternoon. In terms of meeting etiquette, just one question, one comment I'd like to ask, one request. Please post your questions on the Q&A pop-up menu there. And at the end of the presentation, I'm sure we'll have enough time to go through all the questions and make it interactive in that way. But for now, make a note of your questions, and we'll pick them up at the end. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Chantal and JP to take us through the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, George. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for tuning in to learn more about Multotec's test work offerings. Just requesting control here. Multotec is headquartered in South Africa with full-service registered companies and manufacturing facilities throughout Africa, Asia, Australia, North and South America, bringing us closer to our customers. Multotec has facilities with a vast range of test work capabilities. This presentation aims to delve into these capabilities, interesting test work that has presented itself, as well as the latest product developments. Sorry, it keeps on muting me when I change slides. Multotec is an international company with offices and support in 100 countries. Multotec has been around for almost half a decade and covers the products listed on the screen, such as screening media, mill and scrubber linings, mineral processing equipment, solid liquid separation equipment, sampling solutions, conveyor system solutions, waste solutions, as well as armor protection products. The industries that are being serviced include mineral processing, power generation, process and mine water treatment, defense and security, believe it or not, as well as the chemical industry. At Multotec, recognized industry leaders in metallurgy and process engineering help mining houses across the world process minerals more efficiently, effectively, and also reliably. One aspect of this would be Multotec's test work services. The QR code shown on this slide will take you to Multotec's test work landing page. You are welcome and encouraged to bookmark this page. If you can't access the website via the QR code, the link is at the bottom of the code. So if you struggle, I'm just going to give a few minutes or a few seconds for those that want to access the page. And if you do struggle, please mention that in the Q&A section and we'll see how we can address that. Okay, I hope everybody's come right. Okay, so Multotec helps with all sorts of mineral processing challenges, such as fines beneficiation, fines removal, material upgrade, new process evaluation, as well as process and equipment comparisons. The mineral processing scope of test work services can be seen on this slide. It all starts with a single sample, as you may know. This sample can be processed using the various equipment shown on this slide, such as cyclones, spirals, magnetic separators, centrifuges, filter presses, etc. I will, however, go into a bit more detail regarding the equipment a bit later in the presentation. So how does the actual test work process at Multotec work? Well, it all starts with a test work request. The Multotec website, which you can access via the link or the QR code, has a form that can be filled in. This form then gives us enough details to set up a proposal. This proposal will then detail the proposed test work and the methodologies, sample requirements, costing, as well as timelines. Should the customer decide to go forth with the test work, the sample should be delivered to the test work facility in Spartan in Kempton Park, where we are situated. Multotec has an international client base, as mentioned previously, and samples from around the globe are tested. Some of the minerals tested include, but are not limited to, gold, coal, lithium, mineral sands, copper, iron ore, and tin. Once the sample is received, it is spread out on a tarpaulin and blended. The sample is then split by scooping it into buckets, 1 scoop per bucket, until the whole sample has been split. This method simulates a rotary splitter. As a side note, I would just like to emphasize the importance of sampling properly. It is crucial to ensure that the samples being tested are as representative as possible, and I'm sure most of you know that. The theory of sampling is an interesting read, shedding light on this topic. So proper sampling is the origin of the mineral beneficiation process. In reality, poor samples lead to useless results, leading to incorrect estimations, evaluations, equipment sizing, etc. It is therefore vital to spend adequate time and money on sampling, although this is usually a grudge purchase. The success of the remaining processes definitely depend on this. So after a representative sample has been received and blended and split into more manageable subsamples, the test work takes place. The sample preparation process includes weighing the samples as taken, drying the samples, and then weighing the dry samples. This is for mass balance and operation parameter purposes. The samples are then split using a rotary splitter and sent for particle size distribution, as well as chemical or XRD analysis, whichever is required. So Multotec sample preparation offerings include sample filtration and drying, particle size distribution analysis, lab scale float and sink analysis, sample splitting, and sample packaging. The XRF, XRD, ICP, and other analyses are contracted out to the customer's lab of choice. So once all the analyses have been finalized, a report is compiled for the customer's review. When both the parties are satisfied with the final report, the customer is invoiced and the test work is concluded. I would just like to add that the cost associated with the test work at Multotec is minimal. It is basically just to cover consumables and a portion of the labor costs. Also, if the purchase of capital equipment results from the test work, a portion of the test work cost incurred is given as a discount, and thus the test work would practically have been for free. So the test work is conducted and supported by experienced metallurgists, engineers, and product specialists. A few notes on the test work. Full-scale and lab-scale equipment are available in the facility. There is also a wide range of processing equipment available. Multotec also has a long-standing collaboration with a network of academic and research institutions and provides an efficient and cost-effective solution to challenges faced in the mining industry. The actual equipment that Multotec tests are as follows. Gravity concentration by means of spiral separation. As you can see here, we've got a nice chrome separation at the bottom left, where you can see the chrome separating beautifully. On the right, I think we've got mineral sands. Okay, we do de-sliming, classification, and dewatering by means of cyclones. Magnetic separation is also done with the following equipment: wet and dry drum, low and medium intensity magnetic separation, a rare earth magnetic separation roll, as well as lab scale and pilot scale wet high intensity magnetic separation. Solid liquid separation. This is done by means of a laboratory scale centrifuge using the newly acquired Sieve technique CentriLab. Dewatering can also be done by means of a benchtop scale filter press. Okay, so in terms of water treatment, resin screening tests can take place. We can do ion exchange, equilibrium, isotherms, and kinetics, as well as column loading and elution tests. The test work done will generate the required data needed to size the equipment offered.
So in addition to Chantal's test work capabilities, I'm going to cover a few of our additional test work capabilities. These include both our static drain screen and our Sievebend testing facility. So what exactly is a Sievebend? Well, a Sievebend consists out of a concave screening surface with slotted apertures that runs horizontally across the Sievebend. A Sievebend is a static device and requires no power, so it's a very simplistic means of either dewatering or classification separation. When it comes to design parameters, Multotec like and prefer that we stick to less than 30% solids for efficient screening. However, if test work is conducted effectively, we can definitely take that up a bit. Often, both the static drain screens and the Sievebends are used in conjunction with vibrating screens, especially like when we think about a dense medium circuit, where you've got your Sievebend and your overflow of your Sievebend feeds onto your drains and rinse screen. Your static drain screens are inclined either at 25 or 35 degrees, depending on your application and your ore type. We've got our 2x8 Vibrating vibrating screen on which we can conduct wet screening, dry screening. We've also got 4 outlets in our underpan and an underflow crosscut sampler that cuts across all of them. This ensures that we can measure efficiency along the length of the screen. We've also got an overflow crosscut sampler to measure overflow efficiency. So Multotec strongly believe in company collaboration and sister company collaboration. One of our sister companies is LuCoTEC, and LuCoTEC provides air bellows. We've fitted these air bellows onto our testing facility to ensure that we continuously test and improve our testing capabilities. So this is our very nice little 1x3 vibrating screen. So if sample is limited and you want to do quick and dirty test work, vibrating screen test work, this is your go-to guy. We can again perform wet, dry, and then we've again got the 4 outlets to ensure that we can do efficiency of the screen along the length of the screen, which becomes very important. Panel cut point test work and panel drainage test work is definitely stuff that we've touched on. So a little bit background and a question as well. Why is accurate screening important? Well, first of all, it increases your plant's capacity. You reduce wear at all crushing stages. You send material in the desired size envelopes to the correct stockpiles. You provide feed of desired size ranges to process equipment and thus maximizing the efficiency of that processing equipment. You also reduce energy wastage and optimize reagent cost. Where exactly does a vibrating screen then fit onto this classification size range? Well, usually you would find vibrating screens above 400 microns, but exactly in the same fashion where cyclones are trying to push their boundaries towards the higher fraction of that 250 to 300 microns, we are also looking from a vibrating screen perspective towards the lower fraction of our limits and definitely trying to push into the 250 to 100 microns. Now, the various screening applications, all of which we can test at our Multotec testing facility, includes classification, dewatering, heavy media recovery, scalping, trash removal, and desliming. Some of the factors that we take into consideration when we size and estimate what type of media we will go for at the end of the day. And when I refer to media, it's the screening media of which Multotec is an OEM. We look at the particle size distribution, the percentage of moisture in your feed, your bulk density, your material type, your particle shape, your hole size, and your percentage undersize. Now, as a screening media OEM, we need to also take into consideration the material of construction of that polyurethane panel, rubber panel, or whatever we decide on would be best for your application, your aperture size or your hole size and shape, your percentage open area. When it comes to the machine, the screening OEMs take the following into consideration: your machine type, your inclination, your movement, your speed, your throw, the direction, and your width and length of your screen. The duty of your screen is dictated by the separation size, fractional length, the accuracy of what you need to recover or separate at, is this a wet or dry application, and then lastly, the capacity of that specific screening machine. Now, this might look like some familiar faces, and this is not a good thing, but this is exactly why you're here today. And these are exactly the type of challenges that we would like to solve for you. Blinding is one of the issues that a lot of our customers sit with, and we definitely have solutions in our arsenal for that. Pegging as well, it's definitely an issue, but it's not something that can't be overcome. Misplacement is another issue that we encounter, and poor feed distribution is something that we very often overlook. Multotec has our own trommel testing facility. Now, where exactly does trommels come in? Well, you get sag and ball mill trommels. as well as scrubber trommel screens, and then you get self-driven trommel screens. We're quickly going to touch on the importance of screening media deck maps. Now, why exactly is a screening media deck map so important, and what is the upside of it? Well, first of all, it optimizes your screening outputs and improves your lifespan of your screen. So the whole idea behind it is to find the optimal combination of both open area and durability, in other words, life of your panels. So the idea is to find that sweet spot to maximize both product quality and your profits. And we do that through increasing the efficiency of classification while minimizing the downtime and maintenance. We'll touch a little bit more on this on the next slide. With the aim of reducing downtime for customers' deck designs, we must ensure that our deck patterns are as evenly worn as possible along the length of the screen. This will ensure that your mean time between failures are extended as far as possible, and thus that means that you can conduct your site maintenance as infrequently as possible. This is an example. Over here, we've got a screen deck map of a screen fitted with normal square panels with an open area of 31%. After careful consideration and looking at the particle size distribution and a whole wide variety of feed factors, we've decided that we can actually optimize the screen deck and the open area thereof. So we just made the screen work more effective by utilizing some of the other panels in our wide variety of panels. So we went for a panel in the first section with a little bit of a longer slot with a 34% open area. And in our latter stages, we went with a panel which is a little bit more round approach, and it had 38% open area. So by doing this, the performance of the screen was improved. You get longer lifetime out of your screen, and you increase your mean time between failures, which is both a plus, but that's not all. We've also been able to increase the open area. The original open area was 31%, and we've been able to improve it to 35%. That is 11% overall increase in open area alone. We've also improved screening efficiency by incorporating a staggered wear bar approach. This will ensure that your lead time, that your retention time on your screen remain as long as possible, and you just ensure that you get effective classification. Multotec has our Kemix CIL pump cell testing facility. This is a carbon in leach process, and we currently use it to determine flux rate. Multotec has on-site test work capabilities. So what is really nice about this test work capabilities is it's a very convenient way to conduct testing under normal plant operating conditions. You won't get any more accurate than this. So our current Sievebend on-site testing capability Sievebend, it's a mobile Sievebend, and it is made out of stainless steel to ensure that it can handle any corrosive application. This kind of test work also adds confidence to the customer's decision to invest in a specific solution. Multotec support services. Well, it doesn't stop when we deliver our product to your doorstep. After that, we extend our service with extensive field service maintenance, regular site visits, we're committed to plant optimization, plant and process audits. We definitely want to be part of the commissioning, and we bring the service to your doorstep. Another big benefit of what Multotec offer is our customer training sessions. Interesting test work. And yes, our on-site test work is definitely part of our interesting test work. This specific test work was conducted where we had an upstream installation of our Multotec Sievebend, and it really reduced the impurities and improved the efficiency of a downstream Multotec centrifuge. So you can actually improve Multotec products by implementing Multotec products.
Okay, so some interesting mineral processing test work that took place in recent years is, can everybody see the green screen? Okay, I don't know what's happening here.
Yes, I can see the green screen.
I'm just going
next
back.
step.
Okay, it seems we're back now. Okay, so some interesting mineral processing test work that took place in recent years is that we tested different chute liners for a large bauxite application, cow manure for use as biofuel, talc, graphite, plastic removal from gravel. These were all tested using various cyclone configurations, and wollastonite was tested a few times using magnetic separation. Spirals were used to successfully test tantalite, wolframite, scrapyard scraps, as well as computer parts, which is a hot topic at the moment.
So Multotec pride ourselves in our rapid prototyping capability, and it definitely forms part of the whole thing to keep up to the industry. So to do this, we've got our CNC machine and 3D printers that are dedicated to our R&D department and run pretty much 24/7 with new ideas and concepts to be tested. Multotec also has Rocky, which is a discrete element method. And what it can do is it can simulate the way material flows within a chute or on a conveyor, like you can see on the right top side of the slide. We've also got Creo and other modeling software which we use to draw up our models and then to make sure that whatever we design will fit on site. Multotec has LIM, which is a process flow sheet simulator.
Okay, so some more mineral processing product developments in the making include, for cyclones, we have polystyrene removal from sand, a magnetic cyclone that was developed, as well as varying cyclone inlet head geometries and ratios. In terms of spirals, the 117HM was developed for mineral sands, the UF7 for the recovery of ultrafine heavy minerals, which everybody knows is a big problem in the industry. You have valuable finds, but you can't do anything with it. And also the SC25 has been developed for the treatment of coarser material than the traditional top size of 1 millimeter. A South African manufactured filter press has also been a hot topic recently and is in development with Multotec.
And last, but not the least, our 4IR product development. Now, 4IR is a very hot and happening topic, and it refers to the fourth industrial revolution. The way we currently see it is it's the integration of technology with our products. First of all, Multotec is looking into the process of commercializing a ceramic wear sensor module that dynamically measures wear in a closed circuit. It's definitely still in development phase, but just to give you guys an idea of the things that we are looking at and the development that we are currently undertaking. Flotation development is definitely something that we're also looking at, and product lifecycle quality tracking is definitely something that we've gotten back from our sales engineers that the site people would be interested in. So we have been able to successfully embed radio frequency identification tags into a range of our flotation wear components. Through artificial intelligence, Multotec can monitor and detect roping and surging in classification cyclones, relative density changes, and process stability. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much, Jean-Tal and JP, for a very interesting presentation update on what is happening at Multotec. Now, it's been a good few years since I visited the site, but certainly, and this is my first comment I want to make, is that it just reinforces something that's happening out there in industry. This is the reality that R&D, as far as the big, let me just also, R&D as far as the big mining houses goes, I think it's fair to say, and I'm open to comments from the audience, it's in a state of demise. And but luckily, you know, your suppliers, of which you're a prime example, you know, have taken up that slack. And it's just interesting how R&D has now moved from the mining houses to your equipment and technology suppliers, and that's very commendable and very encouraging, you know, given the state of affairs. The question I'd like to ask is, beyond the test work and the test work results and writing up the report, how far does Multotec go as far as integrating those results into the customer's operation flow sheets, be it, you know, equipment sizing or setting of parameters, or even into the whole design process, as not to make it just a dead set of results and then it's up to the customer perhaps even to mess it up? There is such a risk.
Okay, so, oh, sorry. Okay, so Multotec actually goes from cradle to grave, basically. We submit all the test work results to the design house of choice. Look, Multotec isn't a design house, so we don't get involved in the actual design. We just give support, and then when the plants get built or the equipment needs to be commissioned, we are definitely there. We, like PJ mentioned earlier, we don't just drop the equipment on your doorstep and then walk away. We are there for the long haul.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Now, to the audience out there, like I said at the very beginning, I'm sure there must be some questions. So please feel free to put them on the Q&A pop-up window that you'll see at the bottom there. Or even on the chat box if it's easier for you. All right, I think I can see some questions coming up. This is from Andre. I'll send it to all the panelists. Do you use CFD for cyclone design? In other words, a little bit more scientific than just empirical relationships. So the question, yeah, do you use, and I guess this is computational fluid dynamics, packages for cyclone design? Over to you.
Okay, so for cyclone design, yes, we do make use of CFD modeling. However, when we simulate our cyclones, which is a different story, we actually use plant data. We have a big database with information on many projects, and we use basically our previous knowledge and the program to simulate cyclones so that we know which configurations we need to use in the plant. Because if my memory serves me correct, I think we've got about 14,000 different cyclone configurations that we can model. So I think if you have to test all 14,000, you'll retire with that. So yes, it's used for design, but for simulations, we use raw data and previous data.
Thank you very much. And Andre, I hope that answers your question. There's a request from Precious Muravugwa. If you could please kindly resend that Multotec website link. And Andre has come back to us saying that yeah, he's happy with that answer. If I can just pick up on Andre's question, that applies to both dense medium separation and size separation, hydrocyclone type applications.
Yes, that does.
All right.
Okay, so I think we have posted the link to the website. It's just, I think, two chats behind Andre's question. So if you need us to post it again, then we'll post it again.
All right. Yeah, we're doing very well for time here. We normally run for about an hour or so on average. So yeah, out to the audience again if there's any further questions, unless you're stunned into silence. But I'm sure there must be one or two more comments coming. I don't see anything coming. So I think Chantal and PJ stunned the audience out there. So unless there's any more questions, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you. Thank you very, very much for coming to the party and sharing with us all the exciting work that's taking place at Multotec. It's very, very encouraging to see companies investing in R&D, and please keep it up. Same time, I'd like to thank the audience for your continuous support and participation. There's one more question, so I'll just hold it there. There's a question that's come through from Vivian Murray. Is your test work only available to customers in South Africa?
No, it isn't. We actually do test work for customers right around the world. So most of the time, the issue would be getting the sample to South Africa. But in cases where it's difficult to get the samples to South Africa here at our test work facility, we sometimes send test equipment to the site, if that is an option for the customer. So to answer your question, Vivian, it's available worldwide.
Excellent. I think it comes down to the very important question about sample and sample representativity. And it's great to hear that if the sample can't get to the equipment can get to the sample. So thank you very much for that.
Can I just add something, George?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Just before we round off, I would just like to actually invite the audience to come and visit our facility in Kempton Park. It's really amazing to actually be able to touch and feel and see what's going on. I mean, sometimes the customers won't really necessarily have an idea of how things are done, but then they come here, they see it, and then it also gives you more confidence in our abilities and the work that we do. So we really do welcome everybody to come and have a look. Nothing we do is in secret.
In fact, I think it would be fair to say that should a client request that they participate in the test work, either for the purposes of learning or knowledge transfer, would that be possible?
Most definitely.
All right. Vivian, see you've come back. Thank you for that answer. All right, so I'll just carry on with the close up. So once again, thank you to the audience for participating in these times. And like I said, we're very much looking forward to when we can move back to the normal space as opposed to virtual. But thank you all the same. At the same time, I'd like to thank the SIMM Secretariat for all the logistical setup and all the technicalities in the background, and especially to Kia and her team. Yeah, it's been over a year that I've been in this mode, and it's really, really appreciated. And Kia will be in contact with both you, Chantal, and JP, a token of appreciation to follow, which we like to do in public, but it will be done nonetheless. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to the chairman of the SIMM Joburg branch, Donnie Jansen, to formally talk. Donnie, over to
you. Thank you, George. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Donnie.
All right, I'm the background. Bit of a background noise.
Yeah.
All right, just hang on. This is the best that I can do. I put off a fan. Maybe it helps. George is right.
I think Ronnie is coming across dominating, irritating, so don't mind. Did we carry on there?
All right, George, go on, please. Yes, there's too much noise on my side. All right, thank you.
All right, and I think just before I close, if it's all right with you, JB and Charles, there's one final question that again is coming from Andre. Thanks for a nice presentation. How about PSD or feed for feeding underflow for which concentration criteria? Difference in density between heavy and lights, if you can utilize underflow 7. I think you can make sense of the question a little bit better than me. So we'll take that final answer and then we'll close.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that question. The PSD for feeding the UF7 would be 75% passing, 85% passing 75 microns. So that's the powder stuff. The concentration criterion, the density between the heavy and lights, the density difference between the heavies and the lights, it's basically, it should be as with a normal spiral. You can't have something that's too close in density, then it's not going to separate anyway. So if you'd like to, chrome, for example, it separates very well in the UF7, and it also helps with recovery. So yes, you can, if the material is fine enough, you can definitely use the UF7. If the UF7 is not tailored for your specific need, we do have other spirals that also work well. I mean, we've got the HX5 that was the traditional spiral used for the fine material in the past, but we've gone and we've bettered it now and come up with the UF7.
Thank you very much. So in closing, now once again, thank you to everybody that's helped to make this meeting today. And as a closing comment, please take up the invitation, open invitation from Multotec to go and visit them at the premises. I know from experience, nothing beats an actual field visit and meeting the people and getting to ask the questions, and the people on the ground. So with that, thank you very much and enjoy the evening. Bye-bye.
George,
Thank you.
Just want to thank you guys for the opportunity. It's obviously been an amazing afternoon. I think it's been a long Thursday, so thank you for everyone that actually made the time to join in. Again, thank you for the opportunity and have a wonderful and a safe evening. And yeah, thank you very much.
It's been our pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.